People ask me why I don't migrate from video blogging to podcasting, and I just have to confess a certain rigid um, adherence to what makes me feel comfortable. I have to say, 5 or 10 years ago, when video blogging was a thing and it was hot, I became acclimated to that format for putting information and content out on social media. And now, flash forward to the present, I remain comfortable and kind of lockset in that approach. So there you go, video blogging. Today, I want to contradict something I did just recently, but it's gone. I deleted it. Um, the idea that I had come up with would be a humorous, satirical takeoff on lawyer advertising. Well, I want to tell you why I dialed back from that, and the answer came to me through AI, believe it or not. So kudos to AI because it enlightened me about stuff that I wouldn't have really understood until I had the benefit of that uh, generative artificial intelligence chat program. So I'm going to just try and find my conversation history here. And while I do that, I will just tell you that uh, it's always great to be alive. It's always great to share content with all of you. And it's a blessing to feel at the ripe old age of 65 that I even do have anything meaningful to say to folks. Because most people that surf the internet are, looking for guidance, support, feedback, etc. So what I posed to AI was in the most general sense, what would be the negative ethical implications for a New York attorney, a reputable, law-abiding, rule-adhering New York litigation attorney under the current regime of the New York Rules of Professional Conduct to create a sort of a mockery YouTube channel that sort of pokes fun at, your stereotypical ambulance chasing type of lawyers. Um, what are the potential risks for false advertising, ethical investigations, prosecutions, and the like? For a real life attorney to take on a kind of a mockumentary style persona of an older lawyer um, doing what used to be called ambulance chasing. And that term itself is probably arguably dated and out of date in need of a reboot. So the answer is that it's an absolutely horrible idea. And AI told me, I'm not going to tell you which AI because I'm sure I would get the same answer from other chatbots, that the lawyer doing that would be walking directly into multiple New York rules of professional conduct minefields. The risks are real, not theoretical. The New York disciplinary system focuses heavily on public misperception, misleading commercial speech, and conduct that reflects adversely on an attorney's fitness as a lawyer. Now, fitness is the key term here because, law is a second career for me, and I spent a long time climbing up that hill to prove myself to be someone with worthy moral character and moral fitness, and to go down the other side of that mountain when I'm in the peak of my practice career seems to be a bit self-destructive. And so ultimately it comes down to questions of moral judgment and fitness and character. But specifically with respect to Rule 7.1 and Rule 7.3 of the New York Rules of Professional Conduct, New York's advertising rules apply whenever a lawyer communicates publicly in a way that could be understood as offering legal services. A mockumentary character who is explicitly portrayed as a personal injury lawyer, an ambulance chaser, a broker of regulated products, or a professional with multiple careers, even if the channel portraying said fictitious lawyer viewers may not understand it to be satire. The impersonation of a personal injury lawyer could be construed as false or misleading advertising. The ambulance chaser stereotype is particularly sensitive because New York bars aggressively soliciting from those who are in a predicament of being victims of crime, or God forbid, actually victims who are being treated medically in a hospital setting. Rule 7.1a prohibits public communication that is false, deceptive, or misleading. Rule 7.1c prohibits portraying legal services in a manner that creates unjustified expectations or misleads the public. It just goes on and on and on. The final assessment is that a lawyer who aspires to have a second career in stand-up, perform nationwide, and even own a comedy club could do so without harming his or her legal reputation. However, the key would be separation of business identities, separate business structures, and even separation of personas and identities. Because when it comes to marketing, when it comes to advertising, um, it is it is a well repeated saying that the image is the reality. And so there are members of the public who may take such undue stock upon the public image that is out there on YouTube as to be genuinely, sincerely confused about who the real person is. And so even if the lawyer, in their own perhaps naive way, expects that the day lawyer would be distinct from the night lawyer, the clientele may not understand that. There shall be no legal references in comedy marketing. There should be no solicitation. There must be no client related jokes. And the lawyer who aspires to have a second career in stand up comedy must maintain professional dignity. Following those principles, the lawyer can thrive in both worlds, a respected litigator by day and a successful comedian and nightclub owner by night. However, this is a challenge. This is a problem. This is not straightforward. And so, for me, honestly, excuse me while I move the the recording device here. For me, honestly, it comes back to who am I? Who is that person that I see in the mirror every day before I go off out into the day field? And the answer is I see someone who has journeyed professionally and personally on multiple levels, be it spiritual, creative, or professional, who has arrived at this point, whether you see it as a pinnacle or otherwise, who has arrived at this point after years of striving and would not want to do anything to jeopardize that role. And what is that role? Yes, I am a litigation attorney. No, I'm certainly not someone who does contingency legal representation of accident victims. Absolutely not. I am an attorney who is proud of a long career of taking indigent uh, folks matters assigned by the court system and handling them with professionalism, dedication, and zeal, and doing so with respect for the confidences and the privacy of those individual clientels. Now, I posted this video on my Insights and Ideas channel, and obviously none of what I post is attorney advertising. But today, of all days, given that the theme has been the ethical and legal minefields of attorney advertising, which might purport to be something else, I think this comes back to the overall gist of these things, which is to continually dial it back, to continually have authenticity, to continually have humility and thankfulness and gratitude and appreciation for however so many or few members of the public choose to sit and watch a video blog by Carl David Berman. See you next time. Thank you so much. Bye bye.